Hi everyone, welcome back to the 15th episode of the Parade Planners podcast. We've been gone for quite a while. Even on the last one, we didn't get to talk too much about the games and stuff because good. We had a good guest, Kevin Petry, but we're back now. We got a lot to talk about. This might be our last or second last podcast before the playoffs, so it's gonna be a good one, guys. So I think there's the Canucks game and there's like the two Montreal games since the last one, so. It's gonna be quite the talks, guys. So how about we just start? Let's just jump right into the plan the parade segment. So today, we only got me, Jascard, and Thanigan. So Jascard, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My praise the plan segment is it's for like they didn't take the games like easy. Like didn't like didn't try coaching the playoff. They play hard and
Like they kept
like
their foot on the
previously.
gas, right?
Yeah, they kept their foot on the gas. They didn't ease up. So what they're doing is playoff preparation. Like last night, like you didn't see them like going to a going to like a turtle, right? They they possessed the puck, they played their game and forced Montreal to make mistakes, right? And that's what you gotta do in the playoffs. You gotta have possession of the puck and play to your strengths. And they did that in all three of those games except yeah, they even did that against Montreal came back and won, but that's that you gotta have to take care of things like after that.
Thanigan, what do you think?
Yeah, like Yashkar took mine as well. I was gonna say the same thing because every year it feels like the Leafs do really well at the start of the season and then they start slowly die off. And for the
Bro, do,
playoffs, like
do you
you
remember like
really
the
need
Brian
to,
Burke years where
like,
they would just like what did he call it?
bro.
18-wheeler flying off the edge of a cliff or whatever?
That's a perfect way to describe it because like that can be so much disappointment, bro. Like other than the 2012, 2013 season where they made the playoffs, I think that was a shortened season too, right?
Yeah, it was. I think it was like 48 games or
Yeah,
something. 42. I think 48,
yeah.
yeah.
And they were hot that year. Like I remember they had like a some ridiculous on ice shot percentage as well, and like they went into the playoffs red hot. And I think it's the same thing this year too, but a little bit more sustainable. Like you need to be red hot going into the playoffs. Look at St. Louis when they won the cup. Like first half of the season they shot the bed, and then second half of the season they were like the top team in the league and went on to win the playoffs. Like you need to be red hot.
Yeah, like I feel like it's all about that like confidence and momentum, right? Like look at the Leafs. Like
Yeah.
the Leafs are a great team this year, right? But look at those two losing streaks. Like when you watch that team, you could tell they could not pull themselves out of it, right? So I feel like no matter
Yeah.
the skill level, you just need that like that momentum to keep it going. And I think if you have the momentum before the playoffs, it's easier to carry it through the playoffs, if that makes sense.
And if it was any other season, like Leafs would have gave up after like a Anderson injury, a Bogosian injury, right? Nick Foligno the injury. But like this season, like we have the depth to like replace those guys even with the injuries, and we're still red hot, right? Like
And the
no
leadership,
excuses
right?
this year.
The leadership to
Oh yeah,
like that room like Anderson goes down, but they're not gonna go and like get depressed and like try and like figure like the season's lost. Like I'm sure Joe Thornton's in there like hopefully not buck naked like like that one video you guys saw on Twitter, but you guys saw that right like the Marlowe video where
yeah,
that
Yeah,
was the
we
funniest fucking shit ever. But I saw it like trend like all over Twitter and I watched her. I'm like okay like it's just a happy birthday video, right? And then I see Jumbo and I'm like, oh my god.
bro. He's like one of those old guys you see in the gym, like just letting everything hang out.
Bro, like yeah, you just walk into the change room after like a after gym session, the guy's just walking straight by you, bro, like butt naked. Oh
No
man.
fuck.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Okay, but yo, okay, Denis, before I get to my point, but Denis, I wanted to ask you this, just Garn, you can chime in too. Um,
yeah.
you guys say like previous seasons the Leafs would give up at the end, blah blah blah, which is 100% true, right? Would you guys say okay? Obviously not the Oilers. The Oilers are honestly scary right now, but would you guys say the Jets and even Montreal are like doing something similar to how the Leafs were in the last couple of years, where like they just look broken right now? You know what I mean? Like they look like they're falling off the 18-wheeler, especially Winnipeg, but even Montreal. Like yeah, Montreal competed against Toronto, but they lost to Ottawa pretty bad. Winnipeg lost to Ottawa pretty bad. Like, and these guys are both fighting for that third place spot, right? So, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, so like
You wanna go ahead
when
first,
it comes to
Negan?
like Montreal, yeah, I'll go first. When it
Yeah,
comes to
go.
like Montreal, the pace that they were playing at to start the season, like every year, they do this every year. It's ridiculous because like they're always like top 5 in the league or some shit to start the season, and it's always like unsustainable. Because like if you look at their team, right, who do they have on the same level as like Matthews, Marner, or like the top guys in the league, right? You can't expect guys like Anderson or Toffoli to produce at like an elite rate for the entire season, right? And I think the reason why they keep on falling off the cliff is similar to what the Leafs were doing back in the day during the Burke era. Their team isn't built to play consistent, like at a consistent level over an 82 game season, or in this case, 54 game season, right? So I think it comes down to like the GMs for that team. They got to build a more complete team, right? Or a star stacked team, I guess. Yeah, but I don't know about Winnipeg though. Like Winnipeg has the stars. They have good players. Like I don't know what's going on with them.
Okay, Denis or Discard, you wanna jump in before I go? Because I'm gonna try to tie this into my reason to plan the parade. So you go ahead first.
Yeah, so with Montreal, like with tending to Negan, I think you don't rely on Toffoli too much. He has 27 goals, and who knows what Caulfield can do, right? He's still a rookie. You never know what he can do. With Suzuki, he can he can become the star center that they've needed for a long time now. Since I think Koivu left, Saku Koivu left, um,
What
or
about
when Max Becker left.
Leafs legend Thomas Plekanec,
Thompson,
bro?
Buchanan. Yeah,
Leafs
but Buchanan
legend.
wasn't like yeah, Leafs legend, but Buchanan was more of a defensive checking forward, right? He wasn't
Yeah,
more of
yeah.
like
I
a he
know.
couldn't
I'm
he
I'm
couldn't.
just fucking around.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying like Suzuki can be that what they need him to be, right? Once he gets on fire, like you can really stop him. But the thing is, he's on a level of Matthews, Bergeron, who Montreal Canadian fans are comparing him to for some reason, and on like to McDavid or like even McKinnon. He's not a game breaking talent, but he can be that at one point in his career. Even Jesper Kotkaniemi, when they drafted him, no one knew who he was. To be honest with you, I didn't know who he was. I think he was supposed to be a top 20. He went number 3 with with thing. He can become what he. I think we've already known what he become. He can be more of that more of that like star center forward that they needed. I think they rushed him a bit. They could have put him in the A for like a season and developed him a bit, because that's what mostly like he's a top 3 picks. We want him to play, but the likes of Zadina and that draft, he didn't come up and play. Um, yeah, they like with Tenegan, they don't have they don't have like a star started like lineup or like even like Gallagher can be that, but he's more of a hardworking forward, right? Like he'll go into the corner and then get the puck for them, and also like that kind of stuff. With Winnipeg, I don't know what the hell is going on there. Um, I think people are expecting them to be like more of a Leaf type of thing in the past few seasons, like where they rely on their force to score a lot, and their defense is not mediocre, but it's let's just say it's mediocre to be honest with you. They have Morrissey, and then it just falls off from there because the right side they used to have Trouba, Bufflin, and Myers, and they all left. They're like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Bufflin just like I don't want to be there. Um, he has injury problem and everything, but yeah, that's about it. Like Winnipeg doesn't have, and with Montreal, have you guys like? I want to ask you guys a question. Have you guys seen the like their D? They like have you guys noticed they can't like move the puck like as much as like other defenses can do? Like even like just defense, they can move the puck. Do you guys see Montreal like in a different way? Their defense,
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, different in what
like
sense?
do they have difficulty moving the puck? Do you guys see that sometimes?
I don't think so. Like, to me, it seems fine. I feel like they don't go for the stretch passes that the Leafs go for. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah
like
they don't.
they go for short, easy exits, and I feel
Oh,
like
okay.
part of that makes it harder for them. I feel like they're okay on breaking out of their own zone because the D, like the Leafs. The Leafs do a mix up,
Yeah,
right? Like sometimes they'll do like a short breakout pass or do a long breakout pass, right? And I feel like that
yeah,
leads to them getting more zone entries in the other end. But like
yeah,
with Montreal, I noticed that their forwards are always carrying the puck through the neutral zone almost every single time. If that makes
yeah.
sense.
And yeah. And what about you, Tanigan? Do you recognize that, or do you recognize a different style of play, like Boris said?
Yeah, like I haven't paid too much attention to that, to be honest, so I wouldn't know. But like I know Jeff Petry, that guy's a beast at transitioning. So if the
Yeah,
rest of the
he's really
team
good.
follows his style, then it's good. What
Take
do you
that
think?
in. Edmonton gave up a fourth round pick for Petry.
Yeah,
Imagine.
this guy
Let's not
popped
talk
off
about
out of
Edmonton.
nowhere though. But like,
Poor
I don't
team.
know if Petry's gonna be sustainable. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
he went off in the bubble, and I feel like he just kind of carried that momentum forward. So I don't think he'll have another season like this. I think this might be the best season of his career. Like,
yeah.
personally, I don't think he's gonna
He should
fall
have.
off a cliff and like just go back to how he was before. I think he'll still be
Yeah,
good, but he's not gonna be like top 10 defenseman in the league good, in my opinion at least.
Yeah,
no,
because he's kind of old too,
that's
no? Like, isn't he 32 or 33?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's just I feel like this kind of gonna get into my reason now, like what we were talking about, what I think about like Montreal and Winnipeg falling off. Like, okay, so for both, there's two separate reasons, right? In my opinion, but for Montreal, it's you guys hit the nail exactly, right? Like they lack the star power. Like Toffoli's great, Gallagher's great, but like outside of that, especially on forward, they don't have anyone reliable offensively, right? Like Josh Anderson can shoot the puck and he can hit, but that's it, right? Tyler Toffoli's great. Um, Gallagher's great, but like you can't win with three wingers. You need some sort of star center power. Like, when's the last time you saw a Stanley Cup winner without a star center, right? I can't even think of a winner that didn't have a star center. So I think you guys hit the nail on that. They lack the star power and stuff. But I also think Montreal is playing above expectations, and I don't think it's sustainable, right? I think they're showing now that they can't, exactly like you guys said, they can't play that style consistently and win consistently just based on that heavy hitting, slow, rugged style of hockey that they play, right? Like that's not gonna win you a Stanley Cup if you don't have the star power to support it, right? Like look at the Islanders or even like the Dallas Stars. Would you guys say they played that same like sort of like defensive, rugged, heavy hitting hockey? Like
yeah, they do, but they have
that boring
there's a
hockey.
star.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but they
but
have the star power.
there's a star center.
They
Yeah,
have Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn. They have Matthew fucking Barzell, bro. This guy's a fucking stud, right? Like they have the star power to back up their play, but Montreal doesn't. So that's part of the reason I think Montreal is not going to be sustainable. But then again, you never know in playoffs, right? But if they're playing the Leafs will clap them, as we saw in the last three games. For Winnipeg, I think again you guys hit the nail on this one. They remind me of the Leafs of the last few years, right? Like they have all the skill in their offense. Their decor looks like the Leafs decor from last season. Like, look at the. Do you guys remember the Leafs decor from last season? You have Tyson Barrie in the worst year of his career. You have fucking Cody Ceci as your top pairing defenseman. Like, literally, we had two defensemen and four scrubs. Like, it was literally Muzzin, Riley, and plug, right? Like, and if you look at Winnipeg's defense, Josh Morrissey, plug. Like that's what it is, right? And then I think additionally though, like you can't just put all the blame on the defense. I mean, you could, but um, they were winning before without like the defense being shit. But I think the reason that it caught up to them is, and you could tell by the games the Leafs play with them, they don't have the leadership. Like I don't think Blake Wheeler is the type of leader that the Leafs have. Like if you look at Leafs leadership versus like Blake Wheeler, completely different, right? Um, I don't think all the players on the forward core are bought into their coach's system either. Like, and that was gonna be my reason to plan the parade is like Sheldon Keefe's coaching system is the reason the Leafs are still doing good because they all bought into the system. I think what was the quote from I think yesterday? Was it Travis Dermott? I think one of you
it
guys
was
meant
Kerfoot. It was
Kerfoot. Kerfoot's like, yo, the
Kerfoot. Yeah,
boys all
Kerfoot.
want to play for Keefe. Like, do you hear Pierre-Luc Dubois be like, "Yo, the boys all want to play for fucking Winnipeg"? No, bro. Dubois is thinking about the first chance he can get out of there, man. Go play for Montreal himself. Like,
Uh,
I don't know. Like, that's what I think, and yeah, like that's my reason to plan the parade is the Leafs have a coach and a system structure that is so reliable that the players all buy in and they continue to work in that system no matter if they've already clinched the playoffs or not. Like the Leafs could have clinched the playoffs and just coasted, just like you guys said, but they want to work hard and keep system and keep that momentum going and get shit done come playoff time.
yeah, cause last season like they didn't like we even when they were even after our David Ayres game. Wait, so first it was, if not get me wrong, the season before the season ended because of the pandemic, wasn't it? Wasn't that 3-0 victory versus when they played the complete game versus Pittsburgh, and then it was the David Ayres game, and then they had the 2-1 game against Tampa where they played another complete game. Was it not that sequence or was it another sequence? It was another game in between, but I think it's that sequence. But the thing is, like, they will play an inconsistent game. So one game they'll play good, one game they play shit, one game they play good, and then like a shit ton of shitness, and then a good run, right? And now they've been consistent. Like this, don't get me wrong, they faced adversity this season, didn't it? Like with Keith is like you said, the boys don't play for him, right? I never heard that like prior years where, let's be honest.
Yo, just don't get started on Babcock, bro.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna get started. I'm not gonna get started. I'm
Bro,
not gonna get
you started
started.
going on the rant when Kevin Petry was here too. Like you
No,
were ready to get going.
I did it. No, I didn't get. I didn't go. I'm not. I know you're joking, but I didn't go. Um, yeah, but yeah, like previous year, they were going to hot streak, and then in March and April they will go like, slowly dipping down. You could see the play like suffering, right? Because like the boys were tired of the system that was thing. But with Keith is he lets the boys play whatever they want, but in a structured way. He lets them play like you never see Riley jumping up into the rush and Babcock system like now he does like with Keith, right? It'd be more of a mobility thing where he would go back and go like he wouldn't jump as much as he did right now. With Keith's giving him freedom to do that on the offensive rush, right? And with Justin Hall, like like when Keith took over, I seen this thing where the defense would go down low. The like I remember a goal against Vancouver last year. I still remember it for some reason. Like Hall went like the puck went around to the thing to the point. Hall came in, and you see Tavares jump up into the bumper and rip it. Like I've never seen that before, and it was really exciting because it's a structured way of playing in the offensive zone. And defensive zones are collapsing back and helping out their goalie, right? So it's good to see.
Yeah, Tania, what do you think about like the structure and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, like it's structured, and I think the biggest thing is like it's a fun way to play. With guys like Matthews, Marner, and even like the older guys like Joe Thornton and Spezza, they play a possession style game, and Sheldon Keefe's like coaching system is exactly that, right? It emphasizes a possession style game, and also to add, like it's Kyle Dubas again, right? It's like all his whatever he envisioned came to life. To be honest, right? Like he first spoke about like the possession game and all that, and then he went out and like drafted players for that specific system, and then he finally got his coach in Sheldon Keefe, and then now like putting in the finishing touches. So like that's why I think this year is like we're finally seeing Kyle Dubas's um like final work, I guess, right? And his what he was envisioning at the start with his final like possession system.
Yeah, speaking about
Like
that,
if you watch
it's
Joe,
sick.
yeah,
It's sick how like he had that like you're saying that possession system, but he like kept on working on it and adapting it too, right? Like he had that
yeah, like
vision in the beginning,
I
and now it's like full force.
like I don't want to talk
And
about
you got
Babcock again, but like that's why like having having a coach that's aligned with your like thought process is so important, right? Like you see it in like in work life too, right? Like if your boss envisions something and then you're doing something completely different, obviously, like, it's not gonna work, right? Same thing here.
Yeah, exactly, right. And
and
that's the
and
thing. I
and
think
and you
I think a big
yeah
thing is like Sheldon Keefe. He played in the NHL, right? He like bat like I feel like it's easier for a guy to relate to someone who's been in their own shoes. Like I think Keefe played in Tampa for like 1 or 2 seasons. I think he got injured, and then he went and that's when he started coaching in like what's it, Major Junior up in like North Ontario or something. Like I remember I read the whole athletic article, but like that's the thing, right? Like if you as a player can like relate exactly what you said, Denis, right? Like if your boss worked in that same position that you did 10 years ago, right? He's gonna be better able to relate to you and your struggles. And I feel like it's the same with Keith. Like, didn't Keith play for Tortorella?
Did
Like,
he actually?
yeah he
yeah,
did yeah he
bro,
did
Keith like
Oh shit.
Keith played for one of the okay, one of the
Oh, for Tampa,
strict,
right?
yeah,
When he was
he
playing
played
for
for one of the
Tampa.
strictest coaches. So like I think Keith knows what it's like to play under a coach like that, right? So I think he can really relate to the struggles of like Marner and all these players and what they experience under Babcock or what they've experienced under coaches in junior or what he doesn't want them to experience under himself, right?
yeah man, it's nice to see like like people think like do it the players GM and keep the players coach, but that's what you need in an organization, right? To keep your stars happy, right? You don't want to be you don't want to make your stars go upset like Tortorella and Columbus, but we'll get to later on. Yeah, but that's what it matters the most, right? Keeping your stars happy. And did you guys see that last night where before they got on the commercial break, like they were sitting on the bench, Matthews and Marner, and they're discussing like what play to do and like you see
Bro,
them
they
you
called
see
they called the face off goal. They literally planned that
well
face off goal
yeah
and then they
yeah
scored right away.
and you see that that's part of growth, right? And you see that like you just talking on the bench, Thornton, Simmons, Bogosian when he was healthy, and like you see that, and it's nice to see like they're growing, like they get to talk on the bench, right? It's not over strict, and we set precedent what we need to do, right? Off of face off a thing, right? Like they get to discuss on the bench what they want to do. They have the freedom to do that, right? Which is nice to see on a Q system.
You know what's another good example of that? I don't know what game it was. I think it was within the last week because either that last Vancouver game or the first Montreal one. Like I specifically remember this because the commentators were talking about this too. It was like I want to say either end of the second or like middle of the third, end of the third, and you guys might remember this if you remember because the commentators made a big deal talking about this. But I think it was Spezza's line was out, and Spezza went and told Brooks to go take the face off, right? And like, just think about it. Would any other coach let a player dictate who's taking a face off in the offensive zone? Like fuck no. You think Babcock would be happy if fucking Bozak was like, yo, JVR, come take this face off. Like, no, he'd be like, yo, you're fucking playing on the fourth line for 3 weeks, bro. Like, but like, although it is Spezza, right? Like, Spezza's a vet. He, like, of course, Keefe has great respect for him, but like, I know Keefe doesn't really like. He trusts Spezza's decision, right? He trusted
Yeah.
Matthews and Marner, like just Garden said, to plan off that face off, and what happened? They scored right off the face off, right?
And another
Yeah,
mistake by Babcock. Forgot to discuss that.
no one likes to be micromanaged, you know? Like under Babcock, you were micromanaged. Like everything you did had to follow whatever Babcock said, right? Under Keefe, it's like it's a player's team, if that makes sense. Like the
Yes,
players are running the team, right? Like Keefe is
and
like
that
aiding them, helping them, and that's what a coach is supposed to do.
and that's what you need in order to keep your players happy, right? You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? It's exactly about that. Like, it's the players play the game, not the coaches, right? That's what it is. Like, you can't just be like, oh, we're gonna be micromanaged all the time. Like, it's not the 80s or 90s, even the 2000s, where guys need to be micromanaged, where like they have problems and stuff, and like they need micromanaged like on and off the ice, right? Where the fighting occurred most of the time, right? But now, like you go out there and it's like it's fine. Like you play your game, but you play it in a structured way instead of like just running around doing nothing, pure like what is Columbus thing. And like Nothing. I'm just gonna leave it at there. I was gonna do something, but just leave it at there.
Maybe rant.
But
Maybe
yo, yo,
save the rant for the Wilson talk that we go through later.
yo, hold up. Speaking about Spezza, like, how come we never see him play in the top six though? Like, you know how Joe Thornton jumps up a couple of times. How come
I
Spezza
think
never goes there?
I think that's a role. Like he's more like you don't wanna like overplay him. You know what I mean? It's not like he doesn't deserve it. I think he's he's come here to play bottom 6 minutes, and he like previous years. I think if I'm correct, didn't he get injured a couple of times in Dallas when he was playing with Dallas?
I'm not too
Top
sure,
6 minutes.
but I
Yeah,
think
I'm
what
not
you
too
said
sure
is
either.
right. Like his role is a bottom six, and I think like Keith found the perfect deployment for
Blind.
Spezza. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like
yeah,
And he
Spezza's
doesn't
being
want to mess
deployed
that up.
exactly. Like let's say you start giving Spezza like 3-4 extra minutes a night. Like it might wear him down, and he might not be able to perform because he's more tired, right? Like especially towards the end of the game. So I think like, and I'm sure like this is the thing, right? I have faith that like Keith sits down and talks with these guys about their minutes. You know what I mean? It's not like
yeah, for
Oh
sure.
Babcock
yeah, for
where
sure.
Matthews is sitting there complaining that Babcock doesn't play him enough. Like I'm sure Keith sits down with these guys like, okay, I'm gonna play you this much for this reason, and like if they want to play more, like Keith will probably try to squeeze the minutes if they deserve it, right?
Yeah,
Bro, that's still
just
mind blowing. The fact that Matthews used to play like 16 minutes a night.
Bro,
yeah,
Like
like
how?
exactly. Okay,
look, Keith plays him 21, 22 minutes a night, and look what's going on now, bro. This guy's about to win a rocket. Like if McDavid was not having the season he was, Matthews is the Hart winner.
Oh yeah,
Like no
easy.
question. Like I think in
yeah,
my mind, McDavid wins the Hart. Like there's no way Matthews gets it because although Matthews is doing some crazy shit, McDavid's on like he's on
okay,
something, bro. He's on something, right? So
yeah.
that's the crazy part. Like Matthews is having a Hart worthy season under Keefe, and
And
call that development or call it Keefe, but I think Keefe made a big difference in
and can we discuss how for 3 4 years we never got Martin and Matthews together? That's just mind boggling.
that.
And Jason and Spencer getting scratched for a good what for a good thing for not playing the PK, and I played the and I take face on the PK.
Yo, we're like teetering on this,
Like that.
teetering on the
I
rope,
feel
but
like
getting into like the Babcock talk again. You know,
I
like
feel
Yeah.
like Jack Dunn's like subtweeting him.
just Car's itching to just go off on Babcock, man.
Nah, man. I've done enough, man. I've done enough.
Okay,
That's
okay.
fine.
I have a question for you guys though.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're all sounding super optimistic. Like I feel like all season we've been, except for during that one losing streak, there's a little bit of negativity. Not only here
Yeah.
around all the Leafs fan base, but I think generally like Leafs fans this year have been super optimistic. But my question is, you guys still have that doubt in your head that we're not
I
gonna make it out
do.
of the first round?
Yeah, I do.
It's still there,
I'm not
right?
gonna lie.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie.
we're all
I do have.
insecure.
I still have
Like
that.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting here and I'm worried. I'm like, fuck. Do I want to play Winnipeg? Do I want to play Montreal? Like, which one of those guys are gonna upset and beat the Leafs? Who do we have a better chance of not getting upset? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No,
Yeah, because it
imagine we
feels
play
like
Montreal first round and they kick us out, bro.
honestly
no,
they
for
could.
sure.
I
I
wouldn't be
still
surprised.
yeah. I still have that doubt. I still have that fear. No matter what, that fear will still be there. No matter what. Like
It's there,
I'm
but
not gonna.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot less and a lot more hidden than previous years, though.
It still
Yeah,
comes into my mind every time. I'm like, fuck man, please hold the lead. Please hold
I
the
think
lead. Just
until
hold
we
the lead.
win like a first round,
Yeah, it's
right?
always gonna be
Like we're
there.
still gonna have that feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if they win the first round, though, are you guys gonna be mad if they get swept in the second round? Like
Possibly
theoretically,
yes. Possibly yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it
will be.
depends on
I
the
want to see
way they
them.
get
Yeah.
swept. Because like if they get swept because of like an injury problem or like let's say they play McDavid in the second round, right? Knock on wood, this guy starts scoring 3 points a game. Like, you know what I mean? Like something like that, like something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be as mad
Yo,
as I was last year. You know, last year I was
but
pissed, bro. I was
but
pissed
do you
after
mean
they
like
lost to
Yeah, it's
Minnesota.
swept?
Columbus, man.
Do you
Like
mean like
how
swept
do you
as in like 4-0
Like 4-1, let's say.
or
Like they lose in five
4-1?
games. But like let's say the games were competitive and they lost because let's say like knock on wood again, like Tavares got injured or something, right? Uh, some freak show happened. They got swept in the second round. Like would you guys be pissed like the same way you were last year?
Yeah, like if a freak show, if something like bad happens, like an injury or
Yeah.
some shit, like I wouldn't be pissed, but like we have, like if we lose to Edmonton in the second round, I would be pretty sad because like look at the defense, bro. Like we can expose them easily.
Yeah, no,
Plus,
yeah,
Look at their
we've
defense.
had their
goaltending.
number all year, right? Like
yeah,
we've had
they're not-
Edmonton's number
let's
all
be
year.
honest. Let's be honest. Look at their depth options. Who do they have?
It's just like I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like to
exactly.
me,
They're top
I feel like
heavy team.
if we make it out of the first round, we're playing with house money at that point because we've never made it that far, right? So
Yeah, in the past like 13,
Yeah.
14, like
So,
16, 17 years.
it's just to me, it's like how bad would they have to lose for me to actually be pissed? Because I feel like I should be happy if they just make it out of the first round, right?
Yeah.
But if they get
No,
swept
low-key, like,
4-0 and they like lose every game by like 3 goals, then yeah, like I'm gonna
I'll
be
be
pissed
pissed,
off.
yeah.
But like if they lose
bro,
in
we
like
can't even
game,
leave the house. Like,
oh bro, I'm
People,
putting a
like-
bag over my head, like.
oh, 100%.
Could be trying to bag it.
Like this podcast is canceled, bro. If they get swept in the second round by 3 goals each game.
Parade planners.
Oh my god!
Exit.
Delete the podcast. Delete every single podcast that's been uploaded. Pretend it never happened. Oh man. Okay. You guys want to talk about those games, like the Canucks games and Montreal games, or
I think I think we've discussed them. Like,
just maybe
in
like if
general.
you guys have any like closing comments on those, like especially
Can we-
Montreal, because like they might be playing Montreal, right? Do you guys think they went all out against Montreal, or do you feel like they were holding
I
back?
don't know. No,
I think they were holding
No, I
back.
think
I
they
could
were
tell.
holding
You seen that?
I
Did
could
you see
tell.
the first period? Did you see the first period last night? Did you guys watch the game last night?
Yeah, I watched it. The
That
first
first
period, they were
period-
chilling, bro. They were just chilling.
Like, what the hell is this?
I didn't even
I was
care,
so
though.
bored.
I was
so
bored the
I
first
wanna
period,
go
and
have
then they
dinner.
turned it up. Yeah, bro. I kind of didn't care though. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I know they're not pulling out all their tricks, right?
Yeah, no.
Like, but to me, the funny thing is Montreal was pulling out every card they had to win those
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, no. Cause they're pretty injured too right now. I gotta admit.
Yeah, Gallagher. Like,
Dev Gallagher, Weber, Price, but like Allen. To be honest, Allen's been surprisingly really good. To be honest, with you, but
yeah, yo, I agree. Allen's been a stud, but
yeah, but the thing is, like the first period, bro. Like this is me. I'm watching the game. I'm like, okay, 1-0, whatever. It's fine. Kudak scores. Fuck that. Whatever. I don't give a shit, right? And then I go grab dinner. And then I come home. I'm on my phone. Waiting in line, and Suzuki scored. Whatever, right? And again, in my car, Engvall scores. I come home. Nina scores. I come home. 5 minutes later, Martin scores. I'm like, God, that's all it took. like it's not even. Like it's not even like. I think just turned up just a notch and just scored 3 goals right there. I'm just like, that's it. Like I'm not saying it's not. Don't get me wrong. Montreal a hard team to beat. They're rugged as hell. Or do you guys see
they're number 1 in hits in the league. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, did you see Hot and Destroy Anderson?
Oh,
Josh
bro,
Anderson?
I love that.
Oh my god.
Anderson went in and Hunt's like, yo, fuck the puck, bro. I'm going straight at this guy, and he destroyed him. But, yo, like you were saying you were bored yesterday. You know that game where they won 5-2? You know when it was 4-1? I literally turned the game off. I'm like, bro, like, why am I watching this? This game doesn't matter. They're not trying. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Now, to be honest,
I want playoffs. I want playoffs, man. I want playoffs now.
To be honest, when Caulfield scored, I got nervous. And when Lekner scored, I got even more nervous. It's like, fuck, man, don't make.
They had that game under control. Like the way they were controlling the play that game, they had it under control the whole time.
Because I didn't watch the game. That's why I was like, I was playing hockey outside.
Yeah.
Yo, I came home at 8:30. I'm like, I don't know.
I watched up to I think the third or fourth goal, and I was like, yeah, like it's done, man. It's done.
Yeah.
What were you
Felt
saying,
like
Denis?
Tampa was playing, you know? Felt like
Yeah.
Tampa was playing.
Like the way they were dominating, right? And it looked like they weren't even trying.
Yeah, man.
They have
No,
different
like-
levels to their game, bro. Like,
Is it just me, or did you guys notice these Montreal games? They were holding back from throwing the body too.
I
Like-
know, cause
Yeah,
to me, I didn't watch closely. I'm just like, yo, it's playoff prep. You know, like it's okay, and it's just like, you know, like it's harder to notice these things, like when luckily they're not even trying out there. Like not
Yeah.
trying, but they're sort of trying.
But that's
they're
what I
not
mean.
trying.
What I did
They're
notice
holding
though is
back a
exactly
bit.
what you said, right? The thing I noticed was that they were holding back. They weren't hitting the way they would hit against like Winnipeg and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're doing that on purpose. They don't want to show Winnipeg their hand, or Montreal their hand.
Yeah,
But,
but the Poppers.
And it's also because like you don't want to be injured going into the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Foligno thing. I think we mentioned we wanted to talk about like that. He got injured, right? And like you don't want more guys to get out before the playoffs. Like, especially, what do you guys think about resting these guys these next 2 games?
I think you rest them. I think you rest.
But like, who do you rest? You can't rest like the whole top 6. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, yo, Muzzin, Riley, Brody, Matthews, Martin, Tavares, Nylander. You guys are all sitting. Like, who are you gonna play?
No,
like,
you sit them. You sit them. You bring up
all of them.
You bring up
Yo, would you get fined?
Would
you get fined for that?
I think you would. I think you would if you don't do it in a way that seems okay. You know what I mean?
Because you seen the Raptors, right? The Raptors got fined.
You'll get fined. You'll get fined 100%. Like
I'll take that fine. I don't care. I'll take that fine.
That's true, bro. The Rangers took that $250,000 fine and they were laughing.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, you gotta rest. You bring a Tyler Gray, you bring a freaking Kel, you bring.
In my opinion, though, I think
guys, right?
I think you play most of the guys against Ottawa. Maybe give Freddie the Ottawa game, right?
If he's available.
If he's available, I think you give Freddie the Ottawa game. Just because here's the thing, right? Like let's say like Kemba or Rittich goes down, you need Freddie to come in, right? I don't want him to start, but you need him ready just in case. So I think the Ottawa game you play everyone. I think the Winnipeg game that's where you sit out Matthews at least, right? Yeah. Especially like Winnipeg's out for blood, bro.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, Winnipeg's out for blood, bro. They want to injure some guys on the Leafs, like
Jumbo especially.
Yeah, you sit Jumbo, you sit Spezza, you sit Matthews at least. I don't see Marner sitting. Marner's a beast, but I think you sit Matthews.
Marner. I think you sit Marner too. I think you sit Marner.
I think Marner is so like durable. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but I think you do sit Marner to be honest. Because Marner, they might go after Marner to be honest.
Okay, so let's move on from these games that we watched. You guys still want to go over a couple more Leafs things before we move on? I think we have a couple more things.
Let's talk about the power play. Power play has been struggling a lot too.
I think they'll be fine. I think when
when
they need to score, they'll score on it.
My brother was complaining when it was like 5-2. I'm like, why are you complaining? It's a 5-2 2-man event. Don't you wasting time? Like, what the hell? He's complaining. Oh, top probably why can't they score? I'm like, they're wasting time, man. They look like they're only trying on the 5-1 team. Like, it is what it is. Like,
no,
he's complaining.
We're talking about they have their foot on the gas, but they are cruising a little bit, but not in not in a bad way.
Yeah, like not like previous seasons.
You guys think Riley Nash gets a game? Cause
I think he does.
Cause Sandin, we mentioned this right before the show. We were talking. Sandin's not playing because they want to build up as much cap to get someone off the LTIR. So that could mean Sandin sits and Nash plays. Cause I want Riley Nash on this team come playoff time. Yeah.
But
who sits? That's the thing. Who sits?
I think no. To be honest, I think you need Riley Nash in the lineup. You need a right shot tournament. You see that when Montreal had the game, Matthew was taking the face off on the offhand, which he's a lefty, right? You get you have all the left-handed centers, but you have that right-handed center that can come in and win a draw once in a while, right? That's what you need. Cause I remember the commentator pointing at Craig Simpson. I don't know who the hell the commentator was. Craig Simpson. I don't know who the fuck it was. But Like you see Matthews on offhand, it's harder for him to win a faceoff, right? Like what if you're in a clutch setting and you need a right shot forward, right? Like you need that kind of stuff in order to succeed in the playoffs. That's what I think. That's why he's barring Ryan Nash too, and help with the cap too.
But who sits?
Yeah, I think Nash has to play.
But then again, who sits? Engvall?
Like
Engvall on a 3-game scoring streak now.
Brooks and Engvall sits.
I think Brooks sits for sure. But here's the thing, Brooks sits for I guess Brooks and Engvall for Hyman and Nash, right?
Yeah,
but then who sits when Foligno comes back, right?
I think Galchenyuk sits there.
I think you gotta sit Galchenyuk. I think, but
Mikheyev.
No,
Mikheyev's too good too, though. That's the thing, and you can't sit Spezza, Simmons, or Thornton.
No, you can't sit them.
You can't sit those three.
You can't sit Kerfoot either.
Bro, Kerfoot to me is the odd man out. Honestly, Kerfoot's the odd man out. I think he has to be gone. He has to be gone in the offseason. 3.5 million, and this guy is not doing anything.
It's too much, Joe.
What's he doing?
It's too much.
Like he's playing on the third line. Like right now, and even like when like Galchenyuk got moved up to the first line. Who went and played on the second line? It was Mikheyev. Like Mikheyev's ahead of him in terms of depth chart. It's just that he's a center. That's all he has.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
and
I guess
and
Nash replaces Kerfoot. Right?
This is the thing, though, right? Like, if you sit Kerfoot, does this value tank in the offseason? But I guess Dubas shouldn't really care about that, right?
and they signed that contract with the feeling that the cap was gonna go up. So
Yeah.
they,
Like, I think Kerfoot goes and you give that cap space to Hyman in the offseason.
yeah.
And fuck Anderson.
Anderson can leave, man.
No, I think Anderson comes back as a 1B, in my opinion. But we
I
can
don't
talk
think
about
so.
that after the playoffs, after they win the cup, after we plan the parade. Okay, one last Leafs thing.
We tell me about his personal jail.
One last Leafs thing before we move on to the big news story of the week. So Matthews crazy right now. People are saying though, like, they're saying Matthews and McDavid are only doing this because they're in the North Division. Like, what do you guys think about that? You guys think Matthews would be scoring at a 67 goal pace if he played every other team?
To be honest, look at the Central. Look at the West Division. They're weaker than the North Division. North Division is not the weakest. I don't know people think like look at the Central. They have Columbus, Nashville. Who else do they have? I gotta pull out the division. Give me a second.
Is it Detroit in there as well?
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Look.
Yo, what the fuck happened to Chicago? Chicago was on a tear to start the season.
They
they
fell
them
off,
bad,
man.
bro.
They couldn't withhold their momentum. Like they can't. Like you can't ride the rookies that aren't like generational talents like McDavid or Matthews, right? Like Pew Suter, I don't know his name, Pew Suter or Kevin Lankinen.
Yeah.
They're not generational talents, right? But they had a really really good start to the season, and after they dropped off, right? So, like that's what it is, right? And like look at the West Division. You have the Coyotes, you have the Ducks, you have the Kings. You had who else did they have? I don't remember. Let me check. I'm so like into the North Division that I forgot all the rest of the division.
Yeah, West
But-
has
So
Vegas,
West has Golden Knights,
Colorado.
Avalanche, Wild, Blues, Coyotes. They have fucking hell, man. They have the Sharks, Kings, and Ducks. The Sharks, Kings, and Ducks are just shit. Coyotes are okay. I don't know what the hell happened to the Blues this season, which is they
Bro,
lost
that-
3 straight now.
That's
What
my
the
whole
fuck?
thing. Is like
Bennington.
every other division has at least 2 shitty teams. Like you could say shitty teams. You know what I mean? But like the North, maybe 1 shitty team, and I wouldn't even say Ottawa's shitty, bro.
I don't know shitty anymore. They're going on a roll ton of season.
Bro, Ottawa hustles every single fucking game. They don't have the skill, but they try their asses off. You know what I mean? Like,
No, but if you ask other fans though that don't look at the North Division, they'll just say Ottawa shit, Montreal
well, that's
shit,
the thing, right?
Calgary shit. Yeah.
But yo,
Yeah.
these are the guys that were pumping up fucking Montreal before the season began. These are the guys that are like
Oh, yeah.
sucking McDavid off, and then they're saying, "Oh, well, Matthews is just doing it because he's in the North Division." Say the same shit about McDavid, then, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
McDavid scored all his points against Ottawa. He has like what, like 3 games where he scored like 16 points against Ottawa, bro. Like, don't
What
count
the
those then.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
Yo, guys, can we have a discussion? What if Calgary like didn't shit the bed in the beginning of the season? They would have made the playoffs. Cause look at the way
I don't know,
the way Winnipeg and the Montreal playing.
Bro,
what the fuck?
Calgary has like fundamental issues with their team.
man.
Their team is
Like,
not. I think you
need-
guys mentioned this like a couple podcasts ago, and I disagreed. I said like maybe the core is fine, but
No.
like the more I look at it, the core is not fine, bro. They can't build around that core.
I think you need to build around Matthew Kachuk, or you trade everyone away. That's all it is, right?
I think you just
Sign-
get rid of Goudreau, bro. Goudreau and Monahan are out,
Yeah,
and you keep Lindholm and Chuck,
yeah,
and you go from there.
yeah. That's what you
Yeah,
gotta
like
do, right?
Gaudreau and Monahan are like really good, but like I think they're like better versions of the Castle JVR era. You know,
Yeah.
they're kind of similar to that.
The
like,
Carlisle.
Good players, but like don't have what it takes.
Okay, boys, you guys ready now?
The Tom Wilson.
The Tom Wilson incident. I don't want to go too much on this, man. Like, I feel like
and it's everything's been already covered. You just got summarized and just, and one thing that's
like
pissing me
like
off
here,
is
let's just give your thoughts on the whole thing, right? Like just the whole thing. Give your thoughts. I don't want to go one by one about each little thing. Like everyone just give their spiel about the Rangers firing, the Panarin injured, Buchnevich, Wilson, like everything. Let's just kind of you start first. Let's hear your little rant on the whole situation.
okay. First of all, George Press is a fucking moron. Let's just say that first.
I agree.
First of all, okay. Second of all, if they want to go this fucking game, they gotta fire Batman and get the fuck out of here. Colin Campbell especially, he needs to fucking fuck off somewhere and just to go retire. And Perez
Oh my god.
No, like seriously.
We're not getting sponsored by NHL.com.
Fuck, I don't give a shit. Look, no, listen. There was an article where those emails came out. Remember when the concussion lawsuit happened? I don't know if you guys heard of this. So Colin Campbell emailed the fucking referee. You know Colin Campbell's the head of refereeing. You guys know him, right?
Yeah.
So Colin Campbell, the head of refereeing, he wrote an email to some referee saying, "Don't call penalties on my son Gregory Campbell, who was playing for the Boston Bruins at that time, and they wanted to go in the cup, and you're saying that's fair. How's that fucking fair, first of all? How are you gonna go to the game like that? The basic FIFA's rigging the games, and Colin Campbell's rigging the games for his son. Is that not the same thing? They call the fucking game properly. Stop game managing this bullshit. And try going to the game properly. I know it's about marketing, but marketing fucking sucks shit too. That's first of all. And Perros, I read an article on the New York Rangers. Remember when Carlo got hit and he was out and he went to the hospital for Wilson's hit? He didn't want to suspend him. Tell me that's not a suspendable hit. Tell me, how's that not a suspendable hit? And yet Kadri gets fucking... I'm not going off for it. Kadri gets a
Go
fucking
for it, man. Go for it.
Kadri gets a fucking playoff series. He gets the fucking playoff series for cross-checking DeBrusque in the head. What the Buchnevich gets one game. You're telling me that if Buchnevich was colored, was a person of colored, would that have mattered? I think colored players get more of a thing than anything else. I think NHL's a bit of a racism in the front office too. I'm being serious. Like this is not a joke. Like Buchnevich gets one game and Kadri gets what? Freaking 5 playoff games, which is what 10, 15 games, 12 games in the regular season. For what? I sent you guys a video. Remember DeBrusque need him and they didn't cost shit? Like what is Kadri supposed to do there? Fucking just do nothing about it? Like you're telling me that shit counts. But yet DeBrusque fucking needs him. And he gets nothing. Doesn't even get a game. You're telling me that fucking counts? That makes no fucking sense.
Okay, like here's my thing, right? I'll comment on the Kadri thing first. I think Kadri's suspension is fine. Like I
don't think it's fine.
No, but hear me out first. I think solely if you ignore the rest of the game, if you're only looking at one incident, should he be suspended for that? Just Karen.
No.
No. Listen, you're not okay. I'm not done talking. I'm just asking you yes or no, bro. If you ignore DeBrusque, if you ignore everything else that went on that game, because that game was fucked, right? But I'm gonna get to that. If you ignore everything else and you only look at that 20-second clip of Kadri fucking destroying DeBrusque, is that a suspension?
That's a suspension.
That's a really bad suspension, right? But here's my issue with it, right? They got the Kadri suspension right. But the problem with the NHL is exactly what happened with the Wilson incident. You can't just take the worst incident from the whole night. Because I think Kadri's was really bad. Like, I love Kadri death. I love that he stuck up for his teammates. But, like, that was bad, man. That was really bad. Like,
okay.
I understand. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. I'm not done.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to share a story after. Go ahead.
I'm not done. That was bad. Ahead. And the problem with the NHL is they take the worst incident and they only penalize that. Whereas they should be looking at the game as a whole, right? They're talking about game management, but how is it game management when you're only picking off the worst incident. Well, now let's take it back to the Wilson night, right? Wilson and Buchnevich, all this shit happened. The whole thing with Panarin happened. Nothing came of it. The next night, Buchnevich fucking cross-checks Mantha in the face. Okay? What Wilson did to Panarin was bad. It was horrible. But what Buchnevich did is disgusting, bro. You can't put your stick on a person's face, right? So in my opinion, Buchnevich did the worst thing out of those two games. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Again, the NHL's problem is they take the worst incident from the Knights and they only penalize that. What they should be doing is they should stay consistent, right? Like in the DeBrusk and Kadri game. You give Kadri a suspension, you better be giving fucking DeBrusk or Marchand a suspension too. If you're giving Buchnevich a suspension, you better be giving fucking Wilson a suspension too. Like, it should go both ways, right? Because, like, it doesn't matter who started what or who did the worst thing. It takes both parties to make this kind of shit happen, right? So, yeah, like, that's my whole point, if you understand.
Okay, but was Perros head of safety, whatever, back then too, when Kadri got suspended?
I think so.
Yep, he was.
He was? Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Shanahan was before him. Shanahan was before him, and Shanahan was already with the Leafs at that point. Right?
He went to Harvard. He's the stupidest Harvard student I've ever seen in my life. Like, he went to Harvard. He's the stupidest Harvard person in my life.
I just think there should be consistency, man. Like,
there should be consistency.
Case by case, like, yeah, Kadri makes sense, Buchnevich makes sense, but there's no consistency on the other end of it.
Listen. Before Kadri cross-checks thing, you go look at the whole play. He fucking modeled head right into a stanchion. How are you saying that's not, like, what if that could have been another Max Petry if Max Petry and the Dino Chara incident?
The Chara
right?
thing,
that makes no sense.
But that's
right?
my whole thing, right? So, like, they should be looking at the game as a whole and figuring out where all this started and who did what, instead of just clipping 30 seconds and calling a suspension based on that, right? Because that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, make a consistent precedent. Don't go. Oh, here's $5,000 for punching someone in the back of the head. Here's $5,000.
Well, fuck these fines, bro. These fines are nothing.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit. Bro, $5,000 to them is pennies. All right, Denis,
it's
let's
$60.
hear your thoughts.
All right.
Listen,
So,
go.
Like, you obviously know that I hate the Wilson hit. I hate, like, the Buchnevich cross-check, whatever. But just to play, like, devil's advocate, right? The NHL, when they look at the Wilson incident, they're going to be like, this drives, like, viewership, right? People want to see, like, the fights after whistles, all that, right? If you look at the Buchnevich hit or Buchnevich cross-check, though, that's, like, a blatant cross-check with, like, intent to, like, injure, right? With Wilson, they probably look at it as in, like, oh, like, two guys wrestling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. See, I think you're right. I think you're right, though. I agree with you, bro.
Right.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but he is right. But how consistently does it happen over the NHL these days? It doesn't happen a lot, does it? No, it doesn't. So
it doesn't for sure.
Yeah, but so you market the game what happened consistently. Don't market the game what happened every 1 in 100 games. One in every 150 games. You're talking about the Theyre podcast. You don't market fighting anymore because it barely happens. It happens once a game. It doesn't happen like 2, 3, 4 times a game where it used to happen, right? You market the game based on what skills. Like you see the marketing for NHL. It fucking sucks. They market hitting. They market, oh look, we're tough. They don't market the skill. They don't market what through the legs leaks. They don't market like one-handed deeks and stuff. Where guys just remember they haven't even marketed the one where McDavid just freaking flew by right into the fucking like stop and go, right? They don't market. And one thing that pisses me off, it's good for the Leafs, but it's bad for the whole league. So remember when Shanahan was I was listening to South Africa podcast. They were saying this, but they said that cause Shanahan used to be the head of players and safety. Remember that? When he used to be head of player safety.
Yeah.
So when they were called out of suspension, right? Because Shanahan's job was to punish the players, right, for doing wrong and stuff like that, right? And so what happened is the GMs get pissed because he's doing his job. And Major Dory was sitting with Brendan Shanahan, right? when Rachel was part of the development camp and like with the Leafs and stuff, right? Because they bring in random people for development camps and see how they are, right? So they can judge how what in nature they are, right? So Rachel Dory sitting with Ben and Shanahan, right? She's like, what's like how was player safety, right? Like how was like how what you deal with and stuff, right? Like that, right? And she's like you, and he's like, I didn't give a shit what people thought about me. I had to protect the players, and that's what my job was. And I feel like Perils isn't doing the same thing, and that's what pissed me off. And they ran Shanahan out of the offices just cause the GM kept on getting mad. They kept on suspending players for 30 hits. Remember when he was part when he had a player safety. There were none. There were absolutely. It was consistent on consistent basis. The suspension were on precedent, and they even had videos coming out that look this what was wrong with the play. This what was this what the player did that was wrong. The shoulder to the head, he flew up and hit him, or the elbow was right at the head, or even the soup was consistent. Like he was consistently doing on a basis where GM would get pissed at him and they ran him out of the office and he just came to Leafs and like like that's what it was. Like it's not like it's not like he was a bad guy. He was doing on a consistent basis and GM kept on getting mad that he was he was suspending players based on precedent. He had a consistent precedent he would go off of, and they ran him out of the office, which makes no sense.
Yeah, like I do agree. Brendan Shanahan. I remember those videos you talked about where they would show the clip and they would give like a whole paragraph about what was wrong with it and why they gave the suspension.
And what rule he broke too.
Yeah, exactly. But here's my thing: why do they have like Brendan Shanahan? They chose him because he was a gritty player, right? Like Brandon
Yeah,
Shanahan was a gritty player, but he was still a skilled guy, right? So you got a
not
balance
a
of
tough
both.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like you have George Paris, who's just a goon, bro. Like you're gonna
yeah.
make John Scott the head of player safety. You're gonna make
And John
Colton
Scott.
Orr. You're gonna make
Yeah,
Colton Orr, Fraser McLaren the head of player safety. No, like are you gonna make Rafi Torres the head of player safety? No,
yeah.
like
Like,
like
See,
George
that's where
Paris.
like yeah.
Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go
Tony.
ahead, go ahead. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish.
No, you go ahead because I want to wrap back around to the point you
Okay,
made
okay,
before, anyway. So
okay. So like you know how before we were talking about how Dubas and Shani have like opposing views, or not Dubas and Shani, Dubas and Babcock used to have opposing views, and that led to like miscommunication on the team and like the team playing shittier. It's the same thing with like the NHL safety department, right? I feel like Bettman has said he wants to protect like star players and all that. He wants to like
no,
a
he doesn't.
skilled game, and then he goes out and hires like Peros as the safety guy. Like, how does that make any sense, right? Peros protects the goons, and this guy protects skilled players. Like, there's obviously like a miscommunication or whatever going on between the two. So I think that's a big reason why we see like all these like inconsistencies, right?
okay, I think the precedent though should be like injury, right? Like intent to injure or if injuries actually happen, right? Like here's my thing with the whole Wilson thing. It was dirty, but I think I want to go back. This is where I want to go back to Negan's point. I don't think marketing fighting is wrong. But the thing is, I feel like the NHL is only trying to market fighting, right? So that's why they're encouraging this. Like, here's the thing: a good way to market fighting and gritness. Because here's the thing: fighting is always going to be part of hockey. I'm not on the side where it's like, some people are like, fighting there's no place in the sport anymore. No, like, tell me, are the Leafs a much more fun team to watch this year than last year? Yeah, because they are grittier, they're heavier, they fight more. Not a lot, but they still like have a little bit more scrums and stuff, right, around the net. But here's the thing: the best way the NHL marketed fighting, Edmonton and Calgary. Tell me, Edmonton and Calgary was not the premier game to watch last year, right? And the thing is, they didn't when they marketed those games. They didn't only market the fights; they marketed the skills. Those were two skilled teams going at it. There's two gritty teams that hated each other going at it. That's the way to market the NHL, right? The way to market the NHL isn't to market a guy like Tom Wilson, right? But here's the thing: if Artemi Panarin does not get injured that night, does any of this happen? Right? I think the key here that the NHL player safety should look at is if a player gets injured, especially a star player gets injured, it should be an instant suspension. Especially if it's intentional, right? Like, if Tom Wilson was not intentionally doing it, which obviously he was, and Artemi Panarin got injured, it's a different story. But Wilson was trying to fuck up Panarin, and Panarin got injured. Panarin's done for the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he's actually done or they're just gonna sit him because they have like 2 games left.
No, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's doing 2 games after.
I don't know. I don't know if they disclosed the injury. Like that's what I'm saying. Like maybe they're just not gonna play him. They don't want to play him now because there's like 2-3 games left. But the whole point is he is quote unquote injured, right? So that should be an instant suspension, especially because it's a star player. If you're gonna protect anyone, if a player goes and hits McDavid, I don't care who the player is. I don't care anything. Like if he intentionally hit McDavid and McDavid got hurt, you're suspending the guy for a minimum of 2-3 games. That's how you protect your stars. That's how you protect your value, right? And like Denis was saying, I don't think it's wrong to market fighting. But if you're marketing fighting as the only thing the sport has to provide, then it's wrong. I think you market fighting as an addition to skill. You market fighting like Calgary. See Calgary, Edmonton. See McDavid show his skills. See Draisaitl show his skills. See Gaudreau. See Kachuk. And see all these crazy fights and beef and hatred these guys have. That's what hockey is. It's a mix of both.
Yeah, and see, that's why I think Rangers kind of fucked up. Like Rangers GM, like he doesn't have anyone on his team that can do what Tom Wilson does.
Hey, he
right?
fucked
That's
up so
something that
hard he got
leaves-
fired.
Yeah, what the fuck? I was about to say that too. Do you think that's part of the reason too?
I think
know
straight
there's
up it
a
is, man.
whole other
Dolan,
reason. Yeah.
Dolan is quite the character. Like I don't know, you guys follow like Denis, I know you've been following basketball a lot more recently, right?
Yeah.
You know about Dolan in the Knicks?
I do. I know.
No,
I
what
know
happened?
it, and I don't even follow the thing. He
Well,
got
then
the
again-
beef with Spike Lee and Charles Oakley. He kicked him out of the stadium.
Bro, like in my opinion, the reason the Knicks have been trashed for 20 years is because of Dolan.
Like Dolan, yeah.
Like Dolan,
Is he out now or not?
no, like Dolan is the owner, right? Like his dad owned like what's it called, Madison Square Gardens and like the Knicks and the Rangers, right? So like the Knicks and the Rangers are fucking huge in New York, bro. They're huge, right? And Dolan inherited from his dad. But the problem with Dolan is he is way too involved in the team, right? Like he gets very involved with team decisions and this and that, but at the same time he doesn't. So it's kind of fucked up, right? So like a lot of people call him like a man baby and stuff, right? But
It's
despite
it's
all
a
this,
toxic relationship.
yeah, but despite all this, I love how he stood up for his team. Like he sent out that message and like that was amazing, bro. That was actually so sick and so dope that he went out and he sent that message out to the NHL, which is unprecedented. And then on top of that, when his GM and his the president, when they didn't agree and they made it like public that they didn't agree, essentially, he fired them. And
Yeah.
he's a shitty human being, but yo, like hats off to him, bro. That was
He
dope.
takes care of shit.
You protect your players, bro. You protect your players. You protect your franchise.
Yo, guys, can we just talk about the fucking I'm gonna read the read what NHL PR said. They released a statement NHL. So National Hockey League announced today that the New York Rangers have been fined. So before this, the Rangers, what you're talking about statement, the Rangers called out George Pearson saying he was unfit for the role of player safety, right? And this is what the National Hockey League said, and they fined the Rangers $50,000. The National Hockey League announced that the New York Rangers have been fined $250,000 for public comments on Tuesday, May 4th. Public comments of the nature issued of the Rangers that were personal in nature, demeaning of the league executive would not be tolerated. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman, fuck that guy. While we didn't expect our club to agree with every decision rendered by player safety to extent which the Rangers expressed the disagreement was unacceptable. It is terribly unfair to George Pearson person. Shut up. Okay, we get that. Okay, but I don't want to read the rest of it because it's just fucking nonsense.
This guy just told the message to shut up. Hey, who do you hate more, Babcock, Perros, or Bettman? Rank them 1 to 3. No, you gotta rank them 1 to 3.
Babcock, Carroll, Bettman.
Okay.
Nah, you love Batman like that,
Just the noted Bettman lover, eh?
Yeah, okay. But the thing is, that statement doesn't even say what the fucking doesn't even come close. Oh, they hurt your feelings. Fuck your feelings, guy. You're you're the fucking player of head of player safety. You should be fucking doing your job. No one gives a shit about your feelings. Fuck your feelings. Do your job. It's like me going out to a manager and being, oh, I'm sad. Do the thing to give a shit? No, do your fucking job, right?
I don't know, man. Like, I think it's a joke. I think this is the reason the NHL has fallen so behind the MLB, the NFL, the NBA. Right? Like,
And there. Remember
I
in
don't know.
George Floyd's team? Remember George? I'm gonna get into politics here for a bit, for like a minute, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Remember George Floyd's thing came out? You think of a side by side view of what the NBA said and the NHL said. It's fucking non-existent what the NHL said. NHL just fucking ignored it. Like just whatever,
And
put out a statement is fine. Like what the fuck is that statement? Like actually do something, make a proper statement, right? That's like
taken
gonna go like
the Rangers were the last team to speak out about it too, right?
yeah, and fuck the Rangers too, cause they
Oh
no
man.
Ranger put a last team and they consistently deal with fucking Tony Gian's bullshit over and over again. And when it got to the point where they couldn't deal with it, they just sent him home. Why? And they signed him the off season too. Why the fuck would you sign him if we can't deal with this shit? Like makes no sense. Rangers are stupid too.
So let me ask you this: in the next 5 years, do you see the Rangers as a cup contender still?
Yeah.
Like even with all their
Yes.
organizational bullshit
Yes.
going on?
Yes.
Yes.
Adam
Yeah.
Fox is a stud. Like, Keandre Miller is gonna be pretty good. And their
Unless
offensive core
unless they
is
fuck it up.
holy shit, bro. Their offensive core is top tier. Like,
Unless they sell the farm for Eichel, then they're just Stanley Cup contenders.
but who's the farm? Who would they sell for Eichel?
I think they have. I think Kevin Adams. You know Kevin Adams. And Kevin Adams is stupid too. So I don't know what's gonna
But
happen
like,
there.
define selling the farm. Like, who goes for Eichel? That
So
that
so a
detriments
couple
this team to the point where they're not gonna contend.
so a
Because
couple top
Eichel's a
prospects.
stud, bro. Eichel's a
Yeah.
stud. So
Yeah.
who's going the other way? That's gonna ruin the Rangers.
So if you put Lafreniere in the deal, then he's gone. You put Kakko in the deal, you're gonna be.
But here's the
You're
thing:
gonna be.
if you put only one of those and draft
Yeah.
picks, I
Yeah.
think the Rangers win the deal.
For sure. No. For
Because
sure.
here's
Oh
the
yeah,
thing.
easy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we're saying, oh, they're gonna
'Cause they.
they're gonna
Yeah.
give Kako and two prospects who haven't touched the NHL yet and a first. I think the Rangers are fucking laughing, bro.
Yeah.
If you keep
Cause,
if you have Kreider, Lafreniere, Zabinajad, Eichel, and Panarin, who gives a fuck if Kako's gone, bro? Or if Lafreniere's gone and you keep Kako, like, I I think they should do it, bro. They should do it.
Cause they announced that Chris Drury was president and GM, or I don't even know, Chris Drury president and GM, right? He's still like I remember them saying that, oh, Chris Drury is still like he wants to be in New York, blah blah blah. Remember when other teams used to go after him, he'd reject them. I want to stay in New York, cause he knew a chance was coming, and Dolan probably gave him his word that, oh, I'm gonna fire you guys soon, blah blah blah, and like he knew that he was gonna be a GM soon.
Yeah,
Right?
it's kind of like with Dubas, right? Like, I remember Dubas got
There's time coming, yeah.
Dubas got like interviewed for a couple other teams, didn't he? Like when
I
he
remember
was first coming
Avalanche.
up. Avalanche,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Avalanche, yeah. He
Right? But
when we were
Dubas
talking
knew
about-
he knew he's gonna get a shot, bro. He knew it. I think Shanahan made it clear to Dubas, like, you're gonna get your chance, kid. Like,
yeah, just
don't
chill.
worry.
Chill
Okay.
for a bit.
okay, let's I know there's still a lot of stuff we didn't cover. Wait, Denis, do you have any closing thoughts on like
Yeah,
we talked a lot about the
close
Wilson stuff, but like about the Rangers firings and stuff, like in Dolan, because I don't know if you got your final
one
thoughts
more.
on
Can
that.
I say one more thing? Can I say one more
No,
thing?
you
If-
cannot,
is that
just
fine?
Scarring.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so at the end of all this, so you know how the league holds GMs like on grudges and stuff. So what the thing is, behind the scenes, most GMs sucked up to him basically. To Perils, he sucked up to them because they need to like what if their player needs to get suspended? And they go, you know what, you stuck up for me, so I'm not gonna suspend you. That's what the fucking league is. Like, stop doing that shit. Like the same thing with the refs. Like you see well, there's an incident this season. Do you guys remember? I don't remember the incident where every person was like, like, I feel bad for the refs, like this and that, this and that. What was the incident? You guys remember?
No, I don't recall, bro.
Uh,
I don't
yeah,
remember.
me neither.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but there's an incident this season where it's like, oh, we feel bad for the refs. Like we gotta suck up to them. You know what I mean? Like it's the exact same thing. Like why do you have to suck up to someone and the whole grudge? Like you don't see in the NFL, you don't see in the NBA, you don't see the MLB where you have to suck up to someone because go I'm not like it's so stupid. Like
Dude, it's the
childish
opposite
game.
in the NBA, bro. The refs
Yeah,
suck up to the stars, bro. The refs are like,
yeah, man.
they're like trying to get on the good side of LeBron and James Harden, and
Yeah, man. It's
it's complete
childish
opposite.
games. Yes, childish games are going on in this fucking league that's not making it grow so much. Like,
Yeah.
like this game is so good. If you look at the product, it's so good. And I think it's better than the NBA. But the thing is, they don't market it properly, and they have childish games going on behind the scenes, which is stupid as fuck.
We mentioned it
Okay,
before, bro. It's just the old men. It's the old men are
old
still
man,
there.
old boys club.
Once
It's
these
old
guys
boys
are
club.
out, once these are out in like 10 years, I think you're gonna see major change. But we'll see. Continuing, let's get your
Old
final
boys club.
thoughts
Think, yeah,
on
you got to think it.
Rangers firing president and GM and their reaction to the whole thing.
Yeah, so I think like so the Rangers team has done a great job like building the team overall, but like I think with the recent moves, like like the Rangers being late to for the George Floyd stuff, like tweeting out stuff, and then this stuff as well, like speaking out against the owner, like you had to fire them. Like there's no way like you can't have your president and GM like openly say that they're not aligned with that statement. Like how are you gonna go against your owner, right? It makes no sense. So like as soon as that information came public that they were like disagreeing with it, you had to know that they were getting fired.
Yeah, like uh, to be honest, the only thing I kind of wish some other teams would have put out a statement too, but like at the same time, I don't blame them
Yeah.
for not, because like why poke the bear if you don't need to, right? But it would have been nice to see, like, imagine if like Toronto and like Chicago or something also put out statements with the Rangers. I think at that point, then the NHL has to do something. But
Cause they
we can
run the
only
league.
dream.
The
We can only
yeah,
dream, man. We can
the
only dream.
Bruins, Leafs, Rangers run the league, and
Yeah, the original
they put
six.
it.
Like, if
Yeah,
imagine all original six teams put out a statement. Then at that point, the NHL doesn't have a choice. But
yeah, it's facts.
who knows? Okay. Let's wrap up on the last topic. John Tortorella he's gone, and I think he's gone on his own accord, right? Like he's saying he's not
Yeah,
coming back.
yeah, cause he don't want to sign a contract, so
Well, okay,
he he
from
wanted to
his
go.
perspective, why does he want to go? Like to
I'm,
me,
I'm pretty sure he lost the room. Like
Yeah,
but here's the thing. To me, like Winnipeg has given him everything he wanted, but I guess you're right. If he lost the room, then he lost the room. Like, cause like he didn't like the way Dubois played. They got rid of him for cause that's what fucking Tortorella wanted, right? Like they've done everything for Tortorella, and now he's like, "Fuck you guys."
he he messed up the Blue Jackets so hard.
Bro, they
He
had Panarin and
he
Bobrovsky.
fucked them up. No, he
They,
fucked them up.
Duchesne,
oh my
everyone.
god, man.
No, he's literally fucked them up. Like, listen, we'll talk about Duchesne later. But how the fuck are they gonna find a way to resign Line after this season? How? Unless they
They're bringing
overpay
they're
him, but
bringing they're bringing Gallant and they give him a fucking $9 million contract, bro. That's what they do. I think you sign Lonnie to like a high cap two-year deal and be like, all right, show us, right? Because at this point in Liney's career, I think he needs money because he's not performing, and if a team can guarantee Liney that they'll pay him, like he'll sign.
there was a but there's an article on on the Athletic Imports line. I read it for a bit. I read snippets of it, and they were like, "Oh, Tortorella's a good coach. He, how do I say this? He's he holds the depth players and the star players on the same account. Like like if Matthew made a mistake, like not back checking, or like
He seemed
for
like
example,
Babcock, but worse to me.
the back is absolute worst. Don't
I don't
ever
know,
say.
bro. Just guard if Tortorella was here, and he did that same shit to like Nylander and Mitch, I don't think
Mitch,
you'd be saying that, bro.
yeah, but Mitch was on the fourth line for a bit with Nylander
That's true, but
in the rookie
that's what I'm
season.
saying. Tortorella does the same shit.
Yeah,
Like
Nah, but I feel like Babcock plays like mental games, while like Tortorella's is just like open about it.
stubborn.
but yo, how do
Yeah,
we
He'll
know?
he's
tell you
How
that
stubborn.
do
he's
we?
playing games with you.
How do we know Tortorella doesn't do that though? Like we only know Babcock does that because it leaked out from the players, right?
Yeah,
So,
Like
so are you saying like in a few weeks we're gonna hear about stories about Tortorella?
who knows, bro?
yeah,
Okay.
and the thing is the fuck what was I gonna say again? What up? Let me think. Yeah, yeah, okay. And the thing is, Yarmo Kakalainen, I think he wants a hard nosed coach. He doesn't want like no players coach. Like Jargon's a players coach, right? And so I don't think they're gonna hire Galan. I think they're gonna hire someone else. Yeah, that's my thinking. Cause Galan, I mean, Kakalainen is when it comes to RFA, he's just so hard on them. I think that's the part of why the ball left. Cause the GM didn't appreciate it, and the coach didn't appreciate what he did, and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm leaving. That's it, I'm gone." And that's part of the reason why Columbus has so much trouble of stay of like consistently making star players stay. Like, why do you think Panarin didn't stay? Why do you think Duchesne didn't stay? Cause of hard nosed fucking negotiating. Like, okay, I understand you gotta do it somewhat. Like even the Leafs is somewhat with Nylander. But Matthews is giving him open check. Here you go, because he's a generational talent. Here you go. Same with Mitch. Mitch did like, here you go. You can with Matthews on. But the thing is, with Kekalan, he's like, I'm sticking to my roots. And if you don't like it, then you can get the fuck out. And that's what he did with the ball.
It's kind of like what Lou did with Devin Taves. Devin Taves is ripping it on Colorado, right?
And Barda took him to the house. 3 years at 7 million.
Barzell broke
Lou.
Lou.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Okay, of course we got to bring this back to the Leafs, right? Do you think this increases Foligno's chances of re-signing in Toronto, or
I don't
'cause,
think
like,
that's. I don't
you
think
don't
there's
think it
space to
affects it?
resign. Yeah, I don't think we don't have a space to resign for I don't think they do.
No, but like, who's to say Foligno won't sign like a Simmons contract? You
Like
know
a
what I
cheap
mean?
contract? Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
but
don't
There's
like,
think
no
that.
way for 1 mil.
but here's my thing, right? Like the reason, okay, Foligno when he got traded, we knew he was going back because that team was he loved the team, he loved the players, right?
I think he
But
still goes
like,
back.
but now the team is looking rough, bro. It's looking
Yeah.
rough. And on top of that, maybe he falls in love with Toronto. He has family here. I don't know. Who's to
Yeah.
say, right? Because
Yeah. Who's to say?
he wants to compete, and now he knows there's trouble in Columbus, and Columbus can't compete. Who's to say he won't try it here for a year or two and then go back? I hope. I hope.
So do you think like if he doesn't re-sign with the Leafs, do you think he goes back to Columbus for sure?
I
Yeah,
think
I
he goes
think-
back to
Somewhere else.
Columbus. Yeah.
I think
he goes back
it's
to
either Columbus, Minnesota, or Leafs, right? Because his brother plays in Minnesota. So I think it's only one of those three options. There's
Yeah, me too.
nothing else. But I do think at
Yeah,
the
so
end of the day, he's
yeah.
probably gonna go back to Columbus.
Like I don't know why he would go back to Columbus other than like the family thing.
It's just
Yeah.
a
Because,
family
like-
thing, right? That's it.
Yeah,
But at the
but
same
you want to
time,
win a cup. Like
doesn't he
As
have
I say,
family
doesn't-
here? Does he have family here?
Yeah, he's found in Sudbury apparently. His dad is in Sudbury. I think.
Yeah.
This is Joe Bowen was saying. I'm not.
yeah.
Don't quote me. I think Joe Bowen said that. I'm
Bro,
not
do you
being
guys
cheap or anything.
do you guys follow Joe Bowen on it's on Twitter?
Oh my god, the guy
Nah,
always
what
go out and does yo.
Bro, didn't you know?
Yo,
Nah, what does he
just
say?
go out and just
Oh
shoot
my
him.
god, bro. He literally like there'll be random chicks on Twitter and he'll reply to them and be like, "What's up, sweetie? Let me
Shut
take
up.
you on vacation." Like I swear to God, bro. You have to go
No.
find his Twitter, look at his tweets and replies, and you'll find a couple, bro.
I know.
Oh my-
I've never seen those ones. I've seen.
Is he married or is he just like?
I don't know, bro, but it's him. It's his like, Twitter account, and he doesn't delete them after, so he doesn't give a shit.
Bro, someone has to tell this guy.
But his kids, man, his kids are on Twitter seeing this shit. Like, oh man.
No, I've seen the one with him go after Justin Trudeau, but that's the one I've never seen those ones. Hold
No,
on,
bro, he literally replies to random girls on Twitter saying, "Hello, baby, let's have dinner sometime." Like, just creepy ass shit like that.
I want to see this. Give me a second. Let me pull this up.
You guys gotta find it, bro. It's so funny.
I'm already
Oh,
on this thing. Let's see this.
I miss Joe Bowen though, yo. Like, he was a sick commentator. He's probably one of the
Let's
best
see it,
commentators like I've heard.
Let's see it. I haven't seen it
100%.
yet.
Why'd they kick him off again?
Cause they can't have a homer on national TV.
Fuck that, bro. The Raptors have a homer.
Cause this is
Yeah.
nationwide, right?
No shit.
Nationwide.
Raptors have a homer.
Cause they have different teams, right? They're different teams, right? Raptors are the only team that need to have thing. Raptors only have Raptors the only team in Canada.
Did you find it, Discard?
I'm trying to find it. Does it?
It was, last time he did it was a couple weeks ago, but I know he's done it like more than once.
I wanna tweet some replies, but it's a joke session. I've never seen this thing.
Okay, let me just say something about Tortorella while Josh gonna searches for it.
Yeah, go
Like,
ahead.
Tortorella's style of coaching is like perfect for old school, like back in the day, right? Like from 2000 to 2010. Like he was one of the top coaches back then because like players had to play that type of style, right? Like if you went to a different team, there was a similar style, like hard nosed, like type of hockey, right? Now, like you have the option of either going to a team like Tortorella or you can go to a team like Tampa, Toronto that plays a skilled game and a game, right? Like and a type of gritty game. So like if you're a player like Panarin, why the hell would you stay in Columbus and play for Tortorella when you can go to teams like Toronto or Rangers who let you play a more fun, relaxed game, right?
Yeah, I don't. And the thing on top of that is like if Tortorella's in like a star city, like he coached New York Rangers, right?
Yeah, he did.
Here's the thing: having a coach like that there doesn't make a difference. Like look at Babcock. I feel like Babcock sucked in Toronto, but he got away with a lot of shit for a long time because he's in Toronto, right? So like, it's not gonna drive Austin Matthews to demand a trade because Matthews like, bro, I'm playing in the best city in the fucking world, right? Like the best hockey city in the world. But yo, if you're playing that way and getting players pissed in Columbus, Ohio, who the fuck wants to live in Columbus, Ohio, and deal with fucking Tortorella's bullshit? You know what I mean? Like, no shit Panarin left. Like, oh my god, bro. Like, what is there to do in Columbus, bro?
I know. They should have fired him a while ago, though. Took too long.
I don't know, man. Like, Columbus was on a really good track a couple years ago, and they just fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Like, they had Panarin and Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky in his prime.
And Duchesne and Duclair, all these guys.
And top of that, they still had, like, Foligno, Wierenski. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They had Jones still,
too,
right? They had Jones.
Yeah.
Who got traded for Jones again? What was Buddy's name?
Ryan Johansson.
What they won that trade by a mile.
But that's easy. Yeah.
I remember when that trade happened though. I was kind of like, yo, I don't know, Johansson's sick, but like, nah.
Yeah, it was a fair trade. To be honest,
Yeah.
at the time, I feel like.
Yeah. Just kind any luck?
No, I just seen. I don't know.
I think he tweets. I think he like tweets and replies and retweets a lot. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
hard to
no,
find.
yeah, he retweets a lot. So.
But trust me, keep an eye out for it, cause he does that shit, bro. Just you gotta believe me.
Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna find it here. There's nothing here, but like, that's hilarious if he does that.
He does.
What
He
the
does.
What if he
fuck?
went back and deleted it?
Yeah,
You
he
never
probably
know.
did.
No, I was trying to scroll through it too, but he has a lot of tweets and replies. That's the problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of freaking There's one where two tweet got deleted, but I wasn't sure. Yeah.
It's funny though, but trust
I
me.
remember someone like stick to hockey. Stop talking about vaccines. I remember. I think that's not nice at all. That's the most funny shit, but He's like posting about COVID shit, bro. Come on, man. Like, get these commentators stop. But no luck, no luck whatsoever.
Yeah, just keep an eye out in the future. You'll see it. Believe me. All right, boys.
Okay.
I think we should wrap up here. It's a good spot to wrap up. I guess next time we talk, it'll be a playoff preview episode, right? Because I think the
Yeah.
last game is
Next Friday we'll talk about
Friday. Is Friday the last game? Because I know they play
I
on
think-
Wednesday. It's either Friday or Saturday. So I think after that Winnipeg
Yeah,
game,
it's Friday.
So next podcast will be Saturday, Sunday. I think hopefully the other guys will join us too, and that'll be our playoff preview episode, right? Because by then we'll know who we're playing.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully no one gets injured. Knock on wood. These next two games. Hopefully we get some recoveries. Hopefully Foligno comes back. Nash gets to play. Anderson gets a shot, but we'll see. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Make sure to like and share this podcast. Go Leafs go.